If North Carolina were to win this game today, it would be the 50th NCAA win for the Tar Heels. That would make them one of 10 teams to have won 50 NCAA tournament games. The Tar Heels, the 1994 national champions. The Heels are in white, St. John's in red. The winner to face Ohio State on Monday. And right away, it is St. John's grabbing that opening tip. Bailey gets stopped, and Deja Kelly will bring it up. Tar Heels finally healthy. For the first 2 weeks of the season, they've had all of their players dressed and ready. Good defensive pressure by St. John's, forces a turnover.
Yeah, some swarming defense on the interior early on. Raven people some size inside.
Let's take a look at today's starting lineups, brought to you by Capital One. This is the same starting lineup for St. John's that they've used in all but one game. Peoples, double team. It is ripped away by Hodgson, and a foul called on Peoples in the process. Let's take a look at the Capital One lineups for North Carolina. And Deja Kelly, who's an aspiring broadcaster, broke this game down for us.
The keys to win for the Tar Heels today would be to get out in transition. I think stops to scores. I think getting a lot of defensive stops, forcing turnovers, and then getting out and running and scoring in transition, I think will definitely be a key factor for the Tar Heels. I think just us being disruptive defensively and kind of taking them out of their rhythm, being able to get in lanes, forcing them to take tough shots. I think that's something we're going to be looking to do and something that'll lead us to victory. And then obviously on the offensive end, I think just us moving off of each other, moving the ball well, cutting to the basket, getting good looks for each other. I think that'll definitely help us to a win.
Deja Kelly just scored the first bucket of the game as well while she was telling us what the Tar Heels need to do to win. How about St. John's? What does St. John's need to do, Kim?
Well, St. John's, both of these teams really solid defensively. I'd like to see St. John's get out and play with a little bit of pace as well. I think they need to force UNC to beat them from the outside. We see them getting active in transition early, so transition defense is going to be big, and then force this UNC team to have to shoot from the outside. They shoot just 31% from deep on the season.
Excellent pass from Hodgson to Poole. The Tar Heels with the first 2 buckets of the game. Carolina has been off for 15 days. Everett misses her first attempt, but it'll be interesting to see how they play with that time off. I think it was actually a good idea for them because they've been nursing so many injuries. Joe Tartamella and the Red Storm are well warmed up for this one as they had that thriller on Thursday against Purdue. Coach Tartamella has taken St. John's to their first 20-win season since 2017. Kelly's miss turned into a pass, and then on the second attempt, Kennedy Todd Williams cleans it up for the Tar Heels.
St. John's just falling asleep in the paint. You have to make a conscious effort to box out there.
3 on the way. St. John's, remember, they made 11 threes against Purdue. Haven't found that success here in the first 3 minutes. Kelly on the drive, misses. Peoples got the offensive rebound. Shot clock is down to 2. Everett launches. And the rebound taken by Usby. Kelly with the runner, and she's already scored 4 of the Tar Heels' 8 points.
Yeah, we talked about her speed. She is so good in transition at getting across the timeline, getting to the middle of the floor, and seeing where she can best attack.
North Carolina in their 30th NCAA tournament. It's one of only 7 programs in the country to make 30. Everett misses again. St. John's has started this game 0 for 9.
Into the game for the Red Storm,
Unique Drake, who was a big star on Thursday, into the lineup for the first time for St. John's. Well, Courtney Banghart, in her 4th season after taking over at North Carolina, has brought the Tar Heels into the NCAA tournament every season. She's been the head coach in Chapel Hill.
How about her former school last night? Had come from Princeton. The Tigers getting a big upset over NC State last night.
Yeah, she actually recruited 4 of the 5 starters for Princeton, coached them, coached 5 of 6 that regularly play. Reed knocks down the 3, and St. John's, who made 11 threes on Thursday, makes their first today.
Yeah, that'll get it going. Went inside out. UNC has a really tough matchup on Jayla Everett and Kennedy Todd Williams, so some other players may have to step up the scoring in this game.
Courtney Bangart telling us yesterday we may see every player on the roster play today. That is something she's not been able to say the entire season. Reed comes over and ties up Usby, and the possession arrow will keep it with North Carolina.
We'll see both of these teams get really aggressive in half-court defense, jumping out at screens, double teaming, and we see Reed get her hands on that one.
Courtney Bangart was the 2015 Naismith National Coach of the Year. With all the great coaching in the ACC, no other ACC coach can claim that. She's the only former National Coach of the Year. And if we could probably do a whole show on Courtney, just the things she's done. She's got a bachelor's degree in neuroscience, a master's in writing and leadership. She's hitchhiked all around the world. She and her brother were finalists to be on The Amazing Race. It's just incredible, the life that she's already lived. Nice take by Usby. And happy birthday to Alyssa Usby. Today is her 21st birthday. What a way to celebrate.
Lots of Powerade, lots of water.
Reed probing the defense, good ball movement. And St. John's just has not found the bottom of the bucket yet. Only 1 of 12 to start the game.
Yeah, Unique Drake was one of those players who got hot from deep. Deja Kelly, what a start for her.
And finally, St. John's will take a timeout as North Carolina, after being off for 15 days, has come out red hot, hitting 6 of their first 9 shots to take a 12-3 lead. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Take a look at today's difference makers, brought to you by CarMax. Unique Drake and Jayla Everett, they combined for 36 points in the win against Purdue here on Thursday night. Neither has scored so far today in the first 5 minutes of play.
Yeah, and you see those 3-point numbers. They combined for 7 of St. John's, 11 makes from deep. So far, St. John's has not been able to generate much offense, just 1 of 12 from the floor. These women are well marked. UNC was here in person scouting. So far they have been all over the St. John Stars defensively.
Joe Tartamella's team, that was just an incredible performance Thursday. They made 24 total field goals, 11 were 3-pointers. That was just incredible. And the Tar Heels so far have kept St. John's from doing that to start this game. St. John's looking for a bucket. This is Patterson who checked in on the timeout. Everett, 5 on the shot clock. Through the double team, that's a tough pass. But that is a nice catch. And then the miss, here's Archer with a follow. Bailey, 3rd shot of the possession, it finally goes down. Way to stay with it, Kadeja Bailey. And North Carolina flew in on Thursday and were in attendance at the game Thursday between Purdue and St. John's. All of the teams practiced yesterday. Usby with a miss.
Well defended by St. John's, showing 1 or 2 down there, contesting, making it tough for Usby.
And Everett in front of the Tar Heel bench buries it.
And she will not be afraid of anyone. UNC has seen Jayla Everett. She transferred from Pitt, so they faced her for 2 years. They're familiar with her game, but she's been at another level at St. John's.
Kelly, nice look down low. Todd Williams misses the follow. It'll stay with North Carolina. Yep, they've seen Everett when she was at Pitt. Everett was never on a team that beat North Carolina, but she scored 22 points in 18 in her 2 outings against North Carolina when she played at Pitt.
And this was just Too late of a contest for Jayla Everett. We'll see if she can get going again. UNC up 4 here early in Columbus.
One of the great delights of this trip is being around Joe Tartamella's family. That's his wife, Shannon, second from the left there with the red hair, and then below her is Tierney, then Riley, Brady, and JJ rounding out the Tartamella 4, and they are at every practice, press conference. They've been playing hide and seek in the arena. It has been so much fun to have that feeling of normalcy here in this environment, and what a job their husband and dad have done. Joe Tartamella, the Big East Coach of the Year, orchestrated the 9th best turnaround in Division I this year, highlighted by a win over UConn.
Yeah, it's been a historic season. Started the season 13-0. That was the best in program history. Most regular season wins in over a decade. And you saw Jayla Everett on there, unanimous Big East first team. What an acquisition that was out of the transfer portal for Tartamella.
Todd Williams has to save it. Shot clock is at 4. Kelly's got to make a move. Has it broken up by Drake. Shot clock expires, and the Red Storm was swarming that time and forces a turnover.
Intensity has picked up in the half court. To start this game, UNC was just moving through transition offense, through half court offense with ease, but now they're meeting ball handlers. They're stepping into help and applying much more pressure.
St. John's has only made 3 field goals, 3 of 16. North Carolina 6 of 11 to start the game. Winner moves on to face Ohio State. Everett made a 3 earlier, gets the roll.
And that time defender went under the screen. I mean, it's tough when you defend Everett because she can do it all, but she reads it correctly and takes that easy pull-up.
Coming off the 20-point game. 3 on the way and buried by Eva Hodgson.
She's the really one player in a white jersey. You have to mark her at all times. A 40% three-point shooter on the season.
One of the leaders in the ACC in threes made per game. North Carolina, that was their first three-pointer. Patterson going down the lane is stopped. And it'll stay with St. John's. And North Carolina going to the bench for the first time today, as they'll bring in Adams as well as Key.
And here's Eva Hodgson. Jayla Everett gets caught looking a little bit. We mentioned you can't forget about Everett. You can't forget about Hodgson on that end of the floor.
Shot clock does not reset there. It's at 7. Archer, nice pass. Layup missed, and the rebound grabbed by Paulina Paris, the only true freshman on the North Carolina roster. Paris from New York, very familiar with this St. John's program. There's Deja Kelly. And the offensive rebound by Adams. Usby, her shot was altered, but it doesn't matter, it goes in.
Yeah, Usby had to adjust a little bit, pull it back over the top of the head, but she is as good of an athlete as you will find across the country. Reading up on some of the things she's done has just been incredible.
A 3-sport star in high school. Soccer and softball were her other 2. She won the punt, pass, and kick competition last year. And Jayla Everett getting warmed up. That's her second 3.
Couple steps behind the line on that one. She's fired up. You got to find her. You got to meet her a few steps out.
Item of interest for the Tar Heels right now, number 13 in white, setting the screen. That's Tiani Key as the bucket goes down. She is the younger sister of Tennessee's Tamari Key and is getting some minutes here early. Tennessee also in the tournament, making it tough duty for their mom, Teresa.
I did see it popped up on my Twitter timeline today that mom was making the trek. She should be in the building.
And her mom's Tammy. Teresa is the mother of Deja Kelly. And there was some battle down low. Key and Archer were going at it pretty hard, and Teresa Stuck, our official down there, calls the foul against Key. Of course, Tamari has been out this year with the blood clots in her lung for Tennessee, but is expected to come back.
And then for the Tar
Approaching the end of this opening quarter. Both teams really starting to settle in now, especially Everett. Drake throws it up and in.
Tough bucket and a nice setup from Jayla Everett. Her teammates are going to have to be ready to catch off her creation because she's going to draw a ton of attention defensively.
St. John's back to within 4 as the Tar Heels can hold it for one shot to win the quarter. And Kelly gets fouled by Patterson on the way to the bucket.
Deja Kelly drawing the mismatch with the forward Danielle Patterson, and just so shifty, so quick with the ball.
Third team foul against St. John's. First on Patterson. Mimi Reed gonna replace Everett. .1 seconds left in the quarter. The lob out to Adams. Somebody's got to shoot. Fire away. And McPherson can't get the last shot to go down. But it was North Carolina with the hot start. And St. John's has closed the gap to 4 as we head into the second quarter here in Columbus. North Carolina leading St. John's 19-15 at the end of the first quarter. It's Ramses trying to get the Heels fired up. And the Tar Heels, a number 6 seed this year. If they win this game, it would be their 50th all-time win in NCAA tournament history. But this season in particular, they started 9-1, even winning the McKnight Classic out in Oregon. And then injuries hit the Tar Heels. And it has only been 2 weeks that they've had their full team back.
Yeah, they finally have everybody healthy. You see the defensive numbers. That is what this group centers themselves around, allowing just 36% opponent field goal. One of the leaders in turnovers forced. They force about 19 per game, and of course led by Deja Kelly, the point guard, who leads this team in scoring.
McPherson into the game to start the quarter, and so is the freshman Paris, who misses that 3. And the rebound by St. John's.
And interesting, St. John's coming out of that timeout in a 2-3 zone, something we saw them work a little bit on yesterday. Joe Tartamella says we haven't really gone to a zone much this season, but we want this North Carolina team to beat us from the outside.
Drake probing, swatted away, good denial defense by Kelly. And Kelly is fouled by Drake.
And there's that defensive pressure, that electricity on this end of the floor is what really fuels their offense much of the time as well.
North Carolina this year with 6 wins over ranked teams. 2 are in the top 5 when they won, including Iowa State and Notre Dame. Kelly faked the handoff, got her shot blocked. And saved by Reed. Good defense by St. John's.
Yeah, that had to have been a focus in the timeout between quarters. Kelly was off to a hot start. Much better contest there from Everett.
4 turnovers on the Tar Heels, who are maintaining a 4-point lead for the moment. Winner meets Ohio State on Monday. Ohio State just beating James Madison today. Shot clock under 6. Bailey to Everett. And Everett misses this. Peoples, shot clock expires. Peoples grabbing that rebound. She's actually got more rebounds this year than she does field goals. She is a rebounding machine.
Yeah, St. John's really has 2 of them. And Peoples and Jillian Archer both averaging about 8 or 9 boards per game. 2 traditional bigs inside for St. John's.
Key calling for it above the free throw line, and Paris comes in to scoop it up. McPherson, that pass denied by Everett. Man, St. John's doing such a good job keeping the Tar Heels away from the rim. And Reed is fouled by Paris.
Yeah, and it's interesting to think of the counter side, because we're seeing St. John's come out in this 2-3 zone. It's probably something that UNC didn't see from them on film, because they haven't done it all year. So this may be catching the Tar Heels off guard a little bit.
Joe Tartamella, the Big East Coach of the Year, as the Tar Heels make some substitutions. North Carolina already going deep in their bench right now. They've played 10 players.
And sometimes that's a silver lining of having some players out of the lineup for extended time throughout the regular season, because other players get opportunities, get more confidence.
Reed's free throw is good. The NCAA Women's Championship continues tomorrow with second-round games and continues through Sunday, April 2nd, when we crown a champion. All the games on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Reed, a 78% free throw shooter, knocks it down. And the lead now for North Carolina has been reduced to 2 as Usby checks back into the Tar Heel lineup along with Hodgson.
And now seeing some full court pressure for the first time from the Red Storm. Little 2-2-1 press.
Usby rifles it over to Hodgson. Usby gonna pull up, knocks it down.
That's where you want to attack the 2-3 zone. That free throw line area, the Big Ten logo area, is going to be open against that 2-3 zone.
Extends the Tar Heel lead back out to 4. Bailey probing that defense. Reed gets the pass out to Everett. And Everett had that knocked away in midair, and the Tar Heels on the run. Kelly. Todd Williams tried to force it down low to Key, and Key wasn't ready for it. Another Tar Heel turnover.
Yeah, it's a frustrating one. You had the numbers in transition, try to do a little bit too much, get a little too fancy.
6 North Carolina turnovers, and St. John's has converted those into 7 points. It's going to stay with St. John's.
Not the smartest pass there from Jillian Archer. Raven Peoples was really double teamed inside. She tries to lob it in, but they get the benefit of keeping the possession.
Anya Poole back in the game. Key goes out. Everett with the take. And a foul on Poole as Archer tried to go around her. Second team foul, first on Poole. It'll just be out of bounds for St. John's. St. John's picking up their first tournament win since 2014 on Thursday. Got a lot of headlines in the process, the way that game ended with the game winner by Everett. Coach said his phone was blowing up. Shot clock is down to 5. 3. Bailey leans in, travels. She actually made the shot. It's not going to count, but that was a nice shot.
She can cover a lot of ground. You got to keep her in front, stay tight to her.
4 turnovers now by St. John's, but North Carolina has not scored a point off of a turnover, and the Tar Heels, one of the best in the country in forcing turnovers. As you pointed out at the start, they force 19 a game. Usually get a lot of points off those turnovers. Usby above the free throw line. Rebound by Everett. Tar Heels trying to get a travel called. Officials didn't agree. Kennedy Todd Williams all over Reed. Again, shot clock down to 6. Here's Drake with the fake and the bucket.
Solid. Not much was going for that possession for about 25 seconds, but Unique Drake, one of the heroes of that first 4 win, sinks it.
Had 16 points against Purdue. She made 4 3-pointers. Kelly going back to work. Nice block out by Peoples to grab that rebound. And Reed slowing it down. St. John's a very disciplined team when it comes to getting in their offense. They glance over to Coach Joe Hardamella, and there's a definite plan on every possession. The shot clock hasn't reset. There's 3 on the shot clock. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, this is where you go to a play on a buzzer beater that you've worked on this season.
Tar Heels showing full court man-to-man. So 3 on the shot clock. St. John's has to go the length of the floor. Out of bounds. It'll be North Carolina ball.
Yeah, Drake just getting herself into a tough spot there, hugging that sideline, a trap coming, nowhere to really go, but it was a tough spot to have to go to the length of the floor in 3 minutes, 3 seconds.
That scenario doesn't happen very often, does it? When you have to inbound it, yeah, on the other side of the floor with 3 on the shot clock. Tar Heels up by 2. Kelly into Usby. Good ball movement. Shot is short. Jump ball, and it will go to St. John's. Well, timeout on the floor, 4:43 left in the second quarter. The Tar Heels leading St. John's by 2. Oh, coming up at halftime, Degree in the studio with Kelsey Riggs, Monica McNutt, and former North Carolina Tar Heel Ivory Latta. They're going to talk about Miami and Oklahoma State, that thriller. UConn rolling earlier today as we make our way through another day of action in March Madness. And we are in Seattle Regional 3. Baylor, Alabama coming up a little bit later on ESPN2. Winner of this one gets Ohio State. And UConn awaits the winner of that Baylor-Alabama game.
And Sam, I had the chance to see UConn at the Big East tournament a couple weeks ago. They are really hitting their stride, seeing Aaliyah Edwards had 28 on 13 of 15 shooting today. She's been dominant.
This is a St. John's team that beat UConn this year. Bailey misses the shot. And then that was an awkward fall by Kennedy Todd Williams, but she gets up okay and saved the possession. Todd Williams trying to get past Everett. Everett was the focal point for North Carolina yesterday, as they are so familiar with her, having played at Pitt. Todd Williams, nothing but net, a little string music.
That was a pretty deep one. And St. John's really packing it inside, allowing those shots from 3. Todd Williams making them pay.
Everett trying to answer. And Kelly runs down the rebound. Kennedy Todd Williams, that's been one of the big improvements, is her range this year for the Tar Heels. Usby trying to muscle her way past Archer. And Peoples with another well-positioned rebound. If you want to teach someone how to rebound, you watch number 20 in red. I mean, she is just so fundamentally sound.
Yeah, her and Archer, too, really disciplined defensively, as we saw there from Archer.
Peoples already with 7 rebounds. Shot clock down to 5. They're going to have to hurry. Bailey with 1. I don't think they're going to get a shot off. And they don't. Turnover on St. John's. That'll be turnover number 6 for the Red Storm.
St. John's is a team that likes to be more methodical in the half-court offense, but UNC is really forcing them to not find much and bring it down to those final few seconds and having to force up a tough shot.
5 of St. John's 6 turnovers have come here in the second quarter. However, the Tar Heels still have not scored a point off a turnover. Usby open for 3. Got it.
Okay, back-to-back threes for the Tar Heels. Todd Williams, now Usby, showing that range.
North Carolina 3 of 6 behind the 3-point line here in the opening half. Only had 12 points scored in this quarter. So those last 2 trips, this has been all defense here in the second quarter. Drake. And Drake traveled. Hodgson with fantastic lockdown defense.
Yeah, we talked about this UNC defense allowing just about 60 points per game, 36% opponent field goal. They are locking up, they're recovering well.
Hodgson with the pass inside. 3 seconds called on Anya Poole before she could get out of the lane. Paris back in the game for North Carolina. All the schools traveling with their cheerleaders, their bands. A lot of fans made the trip to Columbus. Big section of Carolina blue and St. John's red here in Value City Arena. And a foul inside on that entry pass.
Tar Heels foul number 31, Anya Poole.
Fouls on Poole, that is her second. And so Destiny Adams going to come in and relieve Poole. It'll be St. John's ball out of bounds. Mimi Reed just whispered something to Drake, now flips her the pass. Offensive foul on Everett. Deja Kelly taking the charge.
Correct call, and the scout a lot of the time against Jayla Everett is she likes to go left. So Deja Kelly setting herself up in position, anticipating she's going to drive left, getting that foot on the sideline, giving Jayla Everett nowhere to go but through.
That's 2 on Everett. Coach Tartamella taking her out of the game with just over 90 seconds left in the half. Be interested to see how Ivory Lotta breaks down the Tar Heel performance in the studio at halftime. Former Tar Heel great. Usby whips it in the wing to Hodgson. And it'll go to St. John's, but not before a foul is called on Usby, trying to get that rebound. First foul on Usby. And Danielle Cosgrove in the game for St. John's. We saw her show some firepower on Thursday night, number 13 in red for St. John's.
Yeah, she was a hero of the game. Came in and scored 8 points in just 8 minutes, knocked down a couple of triples.
St. John's gone over 4 minutes without a bucket. Drake loses it out of bounds, but it'll stay with St. John's off North Carolina.
You can just tell this UNC defense has St. John's sped up right now. They're half a step too quick because of the pressure that's all over and chasing them around.
I mean, you can just feel the intensity in this game as well. These two teams are going so hard. And Kelly and Reed collide, and the foul is going to get called on Kelly. It's an example of that tenacity and passion. Kelly, she did the scouting report for us, an aspiring broadcaster after her pro career is over. She actually hosts her own show in North Carolina. Reed at the line. Makes the first. The NCAA Men's Championship second round continues today and tonight on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For more information on tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. Tar Heels on the run. Kelly all the way. Draws the foul and will go to the line.
You really have to meet Kelly early in transition, closer to half court, definitely outside of the three-point line, because once she gets too deep in that area, she's way too good with the handles, with the crossovers. She can really get to the rim. Foul is on Drake, her second. And Deja Kelly earlier this year, the 39th Tar Heel to cross the 1,000-point mark. Her brother Trey, a big-time men's basketball high school prospect. From San Antonio. And Kelly makes good.
Into the game for the Tar Heels.
So North Carolina with a 9-point lead, under a minute to play here in the half. Courtney Banghart bringing in a couple of subs here. Destiny Adams and Kayla McPherson into the game for the Tar Heels. Drake goes out for St. John's and is replaced by Hines Hinnis.
You have to think they're going to look to go to Kadeja Bailey here with Everett and Drake on the bench.
Reed asking for help. misses. North Carolina with about 3 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock to win the half. And McPherson pointing at the clock and now looking back at coach, trying to get everybody set up. Shot clock under 10. Got to make a move. And a foul on the way to the basket by Cosgrove.
St. John's foul, number 13, Danielle Cosgrove.
Not in the bonus yet, so they'll have to come up with another play here.
Patterson gonna check in for Joe Tartamella's Red Storm.
Replaces Danielle Cosgrove.
Cosgrove comes out. Hodgson is on the baseline ready to inbound it. 8 seconds left in the half. 3 on the way. And that'll do it. St. John scored only 1 point in the final 5:48 as the North Carolina defense rising to the challenge. The Tar Heels lead by 9 at the half. Let's join our halftime crew, Kelsey Riggs, Monica McNutt, and Ivory Lotta. Welcome back to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. This is Seattle Regional 3 at Value City Arena in Columbus, Ohio. North Carolina, the 6th seed, leading St. John's at 11 seed, 29-20 at the half. Now let's take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance after we see the bracket. As Ohio State surviving against James Madison earlier today, the winner of this will move on to meet the Buckeyes on Monday. Deja Kelly was absolutely huge for the Tar Heels, and she is the subject of that Capital One rewarding performance.
Yeah, the superstar point guard from San Antonio. She has gotten things going in transition. Little in and out crossover, pull-up game. She has been able to get to the paint really at will. Little off of one leg there, 10 points on 4 of 8 shooting. The crossover has been effective for Miss Kelly. St. John's is going to have to find a way to keep her in front in this second half.
So for St. John's, any things you would focus on?
Well, that's number 1, containing Deja Kelly. As I said earlier in the game, you have to meet her higher up on the court. You can't allow her to get to the 3-point line and then start guarding her. And then offensively, they have to get other players involved. UNC has been all over Jayla Everett, who has 8 points, but their second leading scorer, Kadeja Bailey, only has 2 points. I really think the bigs for St. John's need to get involved on the offense. Peoples and Archer have no points on the inside.
A couple of things to watch for. North Carolina 10-0 this season when leading by 8 or more at the half. And Alyssa Usby, who we mentioned is celebrating her 21st birthday. She's 1 point away from 1,000 for her career. So a couple of things to monitor as we make our way through the second half. St. John's picked up its first NCAA tournament win since 2014 on Thursday over Purdue. And the Tar Heels making it tough today. 20 more minutes to play. Kelly off the switch, misses her first shot, and St. John's can strike first. We only had 15 points in the second quarter. North Carolina won that quarter 10-5 to build the 9-point lead. We'll stay with St. John's. North Carolina, though, Kim, one of those teams, their last 2 wins over Duke, they didn't score out of the 40s. And it just, or their last 2 games against Duke, one they won in the final regular season, the other they lost in the ACC tournament. They can play a lot of different ways. Yeah,
I mean, this is a pace. Ooh, as we get an offensive foul there on Jillian Archer. Alyssa Usby drawing it, but this is a pace that really suits North Carolina because of how they can settle in defensively in the half court. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, yeah, Jillian Archer just swinging that elbow right into the face of Alyssa Usby. That is taking some contact in March.
Usby trying to get that 1,000th point. Gives it off to Kennedy Todd Williams. Jumper off the mark. Usby gets the rebound and goes out to Hodgson for 3. Good!
I love Eva Hodgson's celebrations. I mean, when you can shoot at 40% from deep, you get the right to celebrate finding her wide open off of the O board.
Hodgson is a celebrator of life, and an offensive foul taken. Usby draws the charge against Reed.
And I know you're looking for that point to get to 1,000, but she already has 2 charges in the first 65 seconds of this second half. Eva Hodgson perfectly dialing it up, that celebration, 3s in the air, and then Usby perfectly positioned on the baseline. Second charge she's drawn to start this half.
Kelly probing, and she gets called for the offensive foul as well, as Kadeja Bailey took the charge. Second foul on Kelly.
Yeah, Kadeja Bailey, probably St. John's best perimeter defender. We saw her have some impact plays in the win over Purdue the other night. She too gets positioned for the charge.
North Carolina with its biggest lead of the game right now, the winner to meet Ohio State on Monday. It's quite the atmosphere in here earlier today when the Buckeyes came from 16 down against James Madison. And another foul. This is going to go against the Tar Heels.
North Carolina foul number 1.
Going to be on Usby, and that is her second. Ohio State in the house. Buckeyes watching the game after their victory today over James Madison. Everett looking to get going. She's fouled on the arm. She's going to the free throw line.
She really loves that pull-up jumper along the baseline. She can really elevate up and draw the foul. You have to be disciplined when guarding her there. Know she's going to stop on a dime and not send her to the free throw line.
Kennedy Todd Williams committed the foul. Everett going to the free throw line. She's faced North Carolina twice in her career when she was at Pitt. She scored 22 points and 18 points. First team all Big East, a unanimous choice this year for that honor. And a national hero on Thursday when she hit the game winner against Purdue.
Yeah, that shot was everywhere, and rightfully so.
Kennedy Todd Williams gives it up. But Bailey playing Kelly really tight as Kelly pops up to grab the ball. Those two battling. Shot clock is at 6. Kelly gets loose. Off the mark, didn't hit anything, but the Red Storm grabbed the rebound. The pass up to Peoples. North Carolina basketball. Eva Hodgson in North Carolina's tough MBA program, Masters of Business Administration, in her second season. Usby. And Usby missed the shot, goes over to help her teammate up. St. John's will get the ball back.
Back into the game for the Red Storm, Unique Drake.
Unique Drake back in for St. John's. Number 1 in red, she'll bring it up. Courtney Bangart leading the Tar Heels to the NCAA tournament every season since she took over the reins of this storied program. Drake probing. Bailey stopped and one. How about that shot? And the foul on Hodgson.
And she's the player I think really needs to get going for St. John's. She had just 2 points on 1 of 9 shooting in the first half. This was a tougher finish. I thought she missed a lot of layups in the first half, went up a little soft with it, but now she's bringing that New York toughness.
Bailey, who has been around the St. John's program since she was 9 years old. That's when she started going to St. John's basketball camp. Coach Tartamella's known her ever since then. She spends a lot of time with his family. She's more like one of his own children. And the lead now 7 for North Carolina. As St. John's has outscored the Tar Heels by 2 so far here in the third quarter. Usby through the lane. Missed the layup. Poole rifles it out. A collision, hard collision as well. And a foul is going to be called on somebody after that. It's going to be called against Hodgson. And that is her second foul. It's quite the collision here.
Yeah, St. John's defense has picked up the intensity to start the second half. Poole goes flying out of bounds. Ooh, Everett, Usby, I believe Hodgson all involved, and a foul was called.
Everett on the free throw line. St. John's is now in the bonus. That's the 15th foul against the Tar Heels.
Not many fouls in the first half, but now here just about 3 minutes in, already in the bonus.
Everett 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and St. John's trying to work its way back. The lead is 5 again. Full court pressure by St. John's. It's a 7-0 run by the Red Storm as the Tar Heels will try to stop it right here. Kennedy Todd Williams, 3 is good.
She's come up big in some moments where it seems like UNC has desperately needed a bucket. A couple triples for Todd Williams.
She is part of the junior class that accounts for 67% of North Carolina's points. She and Kelly and Usby. Drake gets out of the double team. Shot clock under 10. Down to 6. Everett has it stripped. It'll stay with St. John's, but 5 on the shot clock.
3. 5 seconds, no shot.
You can hear the St. John's players communicating that. Drake lobs it into Peoples. Everett for 3. Oh, what a play!
You simply can't give her any time. That was about half a second she needed. Deja Kelly got sucked into the player on the wing. Peoples doesn't even look to score. Everett, a little bit of separation, all she needs.
Is she clutch or what? What a competitor. Didn't start playing basketball till 7th grade. Usby misses the 3. Usby catches the entry pass. And Usby on her 21st birthday has now gone over the 1,000-point mark as a Tar Heel.
And she had to earn that one. She was double teamed inside, fought through it, laid it in.
1,001 points for Alyssa Usby. And it gives North Carolina a 7-point lead. Drake getting around Kelly. It is intense down there, isn't it?
Very intense, and you've seen they're double teaming Jayla Everett on the catch on that one. I think St. John's has to react quicker. When you're double teamed on the sideline, somebody else is open. Swing that ball around and find a gap that allows you to drive.
Had a whistle on the other side of the court, and a foul called on Usby by our official Jeffrey Smith. 3rd foul on Usby as well. We've got a break. 4:58 left in the 3rd quarter. The Heels hanging on by 7. North Carolina up by 7. Yeah, they start them early in North Carolina. Some little Tar Heels happy with the way the score is right now. And Courtney Banghart has made the Tar Heel faithful very happy since she took over this program. She spent 12 years at Princeton, won 7 Ivy League titles, and made 8 NCAA tournaments at Princeton. Then came to North Carolina, and the Tar Heels have made the tournament every year under her leadership.
Yeah, it was a big-time jump going from the Ivy League to the ACC. She's been so successful and just loved reading up on this team a little bit coming into this game. That core of 5 juniors that came in with her as freshmen, they've all stayed together. Some of them had been recruited by the prior staff, some she brought in, and they have been the foundation that she's built this team upon.
She does have a degree in neuroscience, so she's figured out the formula. Bailey on the drive, banks it in for a big St. John's bucket. Courtney Banghart not happy with that defensive effort by the Tar Heels. Got on them as they came back down to set up for offense. Usby hands it off to Kelly. Kelly, good switch. Shot clock under 10. Todd Williams. Oh, that was creative.
Yeah, St. John's had defended well initially, but then just getting a little too lackadaisical on the swing, and Todd Williams able to attack.
The lead back up to 7 for North Carolina. Winner meets Ohio State on Monday. That for the right to go to the Seattle Regional, and the Sweet 16 travel on Bailey.
In the game for the Red Storm, Mimi Reed.
2 regional sites this year in the NCAA tournament, Greenville and Seattle. This is part of the Seattle Regional. The winner here on Monday will go out to Seattle. Kelly, well, they are really watching her. Todd Williams, they may want to pay attention to her.
Exactly. It's been 2 possessions where they've perfectly defended Kelly, but then Todd Williams has been the beneficiary of the defense falling asleep on her a little bit.
St. John's, good denial defense by number 20 in white, Destiny Adams, and Everett is down. Everett went down during that attempt to track the ball down with Adams. And Everett trying to run it off. It would, I don't know what it would take to get her out of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Destiny Adams getting in the passing lane, just 2 women hustling in March, getting tied up, going down hard.
And Everett was fouled. The foul was called against Adams, and she's determined to stay in the game. She wants to shoot these free throws. The officials are making sure she's okay.
Doesn't appear Joe Tartamello is looking down the bench to sub her out either.
There's no way. There are very few players that you come across with a heart as big as Jayla Everett. No problem. Can't walk, but I can make free throws, right?
She gave a big smile like, I'm good.
She's
I got
good.
this.
Rub some dirt on it. And Everett still limping though. Peoples is coming out. And Patterson back in the game. Everett is not wanting to come out of the game. And I think Bailey's going to come in for her, and she was ignoring her. And now she's going to come out.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. She's really not putting much weight on that leg.
It's been so fun to get to know her since we arrived. What a beautiful person.
Yeah, as fierce as she is on the court, it was yes, ma'am, yes, sir. I don't hear that much being from New York.
Collision inside, and that's a blocking foul against St. John's. Foul's going to go against Bailey as Usby was trying to drive to the basket.
Red Storm foul number 30, Bailey. That's her first. Team foul number 3.
Third team foul against St. John's. Remember, St. John's is in the bonus. Bailey, what a steal. Mimi Reed backing it out. Mimi Reed, one of only 2 athletes in the nation getting their PhD while competing at this level. It's first St. John's student athlete to ever do that, getting her PhD in Homeland Security. And Archer gets fouled.
Kadeja Bailey making the play, making something happen. Great defensive play on the other end. She's got incredibly long arms to snatch that ball.
Second foul on Kennedy Todd Williams.
2 shots.
Archer will go to the free throw line. Archer, one of the better rebounders in the Big East this year. And Jayla Everett trying to work it out over there on the St. John's bench. She's dying to get back in the game. Got that right knee wrapped right now. Archer makes them both.
Those are the first 2 points from either Peoples or Archer. I still think they need to get a little bit more involved offensively to open things up for St. John's.
Usby gives it up. Hodgson for three. Knocks it down. Third three-pointer for Hodgson.
She's got the reaction on lock and executed to perfection. Can't leave her.
Hodgson, all of her field goals have been threes. That accounts for all 9 of her points. Stretches the Carolina lead out to 8. Shot clock under 10. And a foul in the corner. And it was on the opposite side. Foul's going to be on Usby.
North Carolina foul.
And here's some beautiful ball movement. Hodgson started with it, works all the way back around, and just those couple of extra unselfish passes leaves their best three-point shooter wide open in that celebration.
Archer's got 2 more free throws. Archer just made a couple. Archer 5 rebounds today, hasn't made a field goal. All of her points have come from the free throw line so far. Everett being a big cheerleader over there and a coach, I should add. Now she's getting up to try to come back in the game. Archer makes 1 of 2. Everett is coming back in, but still not moving smoothly.
And in for the Tar Heels, Alexandra Zelaya.
Yeah, interesting to see who they match her up with. You certainly don't want to put her on one of the quicker guards like Todd Williams, Kelly.
Kennedy Todd Williams with the ball right now for North Carolina. Number 6 seeded Tar Heels. Here's Deja Kelly, drives all the way through the paint. 3 on the way is off the mark. A nice steal. Great heads up play by Adams. And finally, a jump ball called. St. John's is going to get the ball. Just another example of the intensity of this game.
Jayla Everett just letting everyone know that everything's under control. The refs, her teammates, the opponents. She is a character out there.
Now she came to the spotlight Thursday night when she hit the game winner. And she is the heart and soul of this team. Her only season at St. John's, transferred in after playing at Pitt. And she's been the big difference in how St. John's has had the 9th best turnaround in the nation this year from last year to this year. Cosgrove, short on the 3. It'll stay on this end.
Into the game for the Tar Heels, Kayla McPherson.
Kayla McPherson returns to the Tar Heel lineup. Zelaya going back out, had a brief run. That was her first appearance of the game. So just about everybody's played for North Carolina. I think they've only got 1 player that hasn't gotten in. Patterson down the lane and the strong finish.
That's how you have to move as a teammate of Jayla Everett, who just drew a triple team. Patterson finds the wide open lane.
St. John's within 5. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Hodgson open again. Off the mark, Kennedy Todd Williams grabbed the rebound and a jump ball called. The ball will stay with the Tar Heels, however.
St. John's got lucky, leaving Hodgson wide open from 3. She's already drained 3. Let her get a look.
Hodgson now 3 of 6 behind the 3-point line, 3 of 7 overall shooting, so 6 of her 7 shots have been threes. Hodgson catches again. Kelly fouled by Drake.
St. John's foul number 1. Unique Drake, that's her third.
3rd foul on Drake, team's 4th. Carolina still not in the bonus. They got a fresh shot clock. Got a 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock here at the end of the 3rd quarter. Kelly. Deja Kelly with the take and make.
Deja Kelly.
Everett trying to answer. Bailey weaving her way through and draws a foul with 0.8 seconds left in the quarter.
She's really a heads-up player. She knew the time on the clock. We've seen her ability to get by her initial defender. Doesn't get the shot to go, but gets a trip to the line.
First foul on McPherson. So Bailey's going to go back to the free throw line. Longest tenured player in St. John's history. No one has played in more basketball games wearing that uniform, men or women, than Kadeja Bailey in her 5th season. Bailey makes them both. Less than a second left in the quarter, and the Tar Heels won't get a shot off. It's all come down to the 4th quarter to see who moves on to face Ohio State on Monday. At the end of 3, St. John's has closed the gap to 5 against North Carolina. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? A look back at our last 4 national champions, Notre Dame to Baylor, and then Stanford taking the title in 2001 in South Carolina last year. The Gamecocks, the odds-on favorite to repeat this year. But if the seeds were to hold, and we got our top 2 seeds in each opportunity to make the Final Four, here's what it would look like.
Yeah, I mean, South Carolina just looks so big, so deep, but Stanford has looked good. If Stanford and Iowa, that would be some game if they both make it to the Elite 8. And I said, I think UConn is hitting their stride. AZ Fudd is back in the mix. It's going to be an interesting next couple weekends.
And Virginia Tech, a newcomer to this spotlight. Kenny Brooks done a great job there. And so is St. John's. First play out of that timeout. Archer scores, and the lead is 3. St. John's has really upped the offense here in the 3rd quarter, Kim. Foul on Bailey.
Yeah, St. John's had 5 points in the 2nd quarter. They got 21 in the 3rd, but Sam, they got 12 of those 21 points from the free throw line. They were 12 of 13 in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they got in the bonus very quick. That foul was on Bailey. And for Bailey, that's her 2nd. In this quarter, St. John's has outscored the Tar Heels 23-17. Or in this half, I should say. Starting the 4th quarter now. Ball out of bounds. The winner moves on to face Ohio State on Monday night. Buckeyes coming from 16 down today to beat James Madison. McPherson. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with North Carolina. Usby's going to come back in the game.
For the Tar Heels, Alyssa
Usby, who went over 1,000 points for her career earlier in this game. 21 years old today.
And she has 4 fouls, so coach going to her early here. She's got to be careful.
Usby trying to post up. Patterson came over and denied that pass. Adams. And Patterson gets the rebound.
That's what St. John's wants. A lot of pressure on the interior, forcing them to have to kick it out, and an airballed 3.
St. John's has made 4 threes in this game. Remember, they made 11 against Purdue. A 3 here would tie it.
Unique Drake hasn't hit one yet. She had 4 in that first 4 victory.
Everett testing whatever it was that was bothering her. She looked good there. Patterson, we are tied. The first tie of the game. St. John's trying to produce another fantastic finish has tied North Carolina at 46.
Welcome back to Columbus, Ohio, where the St. John's Red Storm have knotted this game up in the fourth quarter, and it's been their star, Jayla Everett, back at it again. She's up to 17 points on the afternoon. You saw the triple. You saw the pull-up game at the elbow. She's had 3 from behind the arc. You can't leave her. Jayla Everett simply knows when it's her time. If there's a hand down, if there's a late closeout, she is launching that thing. How about a little distribution as well? This would be the 3 to tie up this ball game from Danielle Patterson. 17 points for Jayla Everett, the hero, to put them in this game. She had the game winner against Purdue in the first 4.
Courtney Banghart had the Tar Heels out near midcourt during that timeout as she talked to the 5 on the floor. Usby off the back of the rim, and the rebound taken by Archer.
Archer and Peoples have really been locking up the glass here in this second half on UNC's end of the floor.
St. John's has not led in this game. St. John's, an 11 seed, taking on the 6-seeded Tar Heels. Tar Heels were hoping for a higher seed. Stolen away by Usby. Usby faked, now she'll shoot. Nice play by Usby.
Yeah, that would have been her 5th foul had it been called a charge, but not enough contact there. She pulled up.
And Usby puts the Tar Heels up by 2. Usby today with 13 points. The North Carolina bench has been scoreless. The only points scored by the Tar Heels from the starters today. Shot clock under 10. Everett going to work. Rifles a pass to Archer. Back to Patterson. Shot clock at 1. And Kelly comes down with a rebound. Kennedy Todd Williams. Everett came flying in there. I wonder if she saw her in the corner of her eye. Just missed.
Jillian Archer again up to 9 rebounds now, has locked up the glass last 2 possessions.
She's got 5 points to go along with the 9 rebounds. Here's Bailey in the corner. Patterson. Another 3. Opposite corner from her last.
Joe Tardamella has found some outside shooting from his bench from a big woman.
St. John's with its first lead of the game. And a foul inside against St. John's. Anya Poole was the recipient of that foul. It was on Drake. That is her 4th foul. And Drake's going to have to come out of the game and be replaced by the future Dr. Mimi Reed.
Unique Drake, one of their best threats from the outside. Hasn't gotten it going from deep today, but a good 3-point shooter to the bench.
Usby driving, offensive foul, and Usby has just fouled out with 6:15 left in the game.
Alyssa Usby, that's her 5th. Team foul number 1.
Wow.
Usby leaves the game with 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. She went over 1,000 points for her career today, but that's insignificant for her at the moment as the Tar Heels down by a point.
Big moment. She had started the 4th quarter on the bench, but Courtney Banghart put her in pretty early as St. John started to make a little bit of a run. And we've seen now really both teams have been disciplined in taking a few charges.
Some concerned North Carolina fans right now. St. John's has outscored the Tar Heels 13-4 over the last 17 points scored in this game. St. John's beat Purdue in a first 4 game on Thursday for their first tournament win since 2014, and trying to follow it up against the 6-seeded Tar Heels. North Carolina has led for most of the game. Archer. And I think a jump ball called. It is a jump ball called, and it will give the ball back to North Carolina. Paulina Paris, the only true freshman on the North Carolina team. Shoots righty, does everything else in her life lefty. Kelly, double team, gets out of it. Paris shoots the three. Off the rim. Reed.
St. John's really trying to keep the ball out of Deja Kelly's hand, pushing her away from the basket with that aggressive jump of the ball screen.
Kelly has 12 points for North Carolina. Up and in. Patterson has been a massive presence here in the second half for St. John's off the bench. St. John's up 3. Kelly going to work, misses. And another rebound for St. John's. St. John's out rebounding the Tar Heels right now by 5. Patterson has scored their last 8 points. She has the ball and now gives it up. Shot clock is at 5. Bailey through the lane. Archer got the rebound and is fouled by Poole. St. John's is just cleaning up on the glass.
Yeah, and going back to Kadeja Bailey, making the play that leads to the offensive rebounds. But St. John's has really stormed back into this game, outscoring North Carolina 10-2 here in the fourth. Danielle Patterson has been huge.
Let's check out our impact move from today's game, presented by UFOS.
Yeah, Jayla Everett, leading scorer in this game with 17 points, but this was the creation, getting into the paint, triple team, finds a wide open Danielle Patterson. That one would tie the ball game. Patience to kick out, and Patterson has been huge in this comeback. She has 8 points in the fourth quarter alone, outscoring UNC by herself.
She's got 8 of their 10 points. St. John's 4 of 6 here in the fourth quarter. Archer on the free throw line. Knocks down the first. Previous foul had been on Anya Poole. Archer, this will be her 6th free throw of the game. 4 of 6. Tar Heels need to get the offense going. They haven't scored in over 3 minutes. Kelly going to work. Off the glass, missed the shot, drew the foul.
And interesting here, Courtney Banghart having Eva Hodgson on the bench, their best three-point shooter. Going with a little bit of a different lineup here, the freshman Paulina Paris.
Foul was on Archer. That is her 2nd. Kelly at the free throw line. Kelly 12 points today. Misses the free throw. The NCAA Women's Championship continues tomorrow with second-round games. It continues through Sunday, April 2nd, when we crown a champion. Every game on the ESPN family of networks. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. 52-49 here in Columbus. The winner gets Ohio State in the second round on Monday.
Some full court pressure from the Tar Heels, back into a zone look here for the first time today, mixing things up.
Shot clock again under 10. Patterson continues to do work. She has been their major offensive presence here in the fourth.
Just money, automatic, finding the opening of that zone, nobody around her.
Kelly trying to get a look, uses the left and scores.
Smooth, just a simple hezzy right in the middle to get the big player to relax right to the rim.
A three-point game. Patterson, good defense by Key. Got the hand up in her face, altered that shot.
And Joe Tartamella frustrated on the bench, think why rush that shot here when you're in the lead?
Kelly tried to get a pass across the lane, and a jump ball called. St. John's will get the ball back. So the possession arrow will go back to North Carolina. Now Hodgson's coming in off the bench, Kim.
Yeah, you need some more offense right now. Hodgson, the best three-point shooter. She's knocked down 3, but it's been all Patterson here in the fourth quarter. 10 points for her in the fourth, and then Deja Kelly going left, hesitation, right around, scoop shot, trying to keep her team in this.
Under 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Archer, Key, tried to wrestle it away. Jump ball called. Tar Heels are going to get it. And Tiani Key with a nice heads-up play to get the tie-up.
Yeah, minor details here in the final moments of a March game, being strong with the ball, coming into a triple threat, not just holding it up over your head. Nice play by Tiani Key.
Again, the younger sister of Tennessee star Tamari Key. Kelly hands it off to Hodgson. Todd Williams blocks by Peoples.
Wow, it was a beautiful blow by, but Peoples just coming over early. What a block.
St. John's up by 3. Can they hang on? They took out Purdue on Thursday in a first 4 game. And tonight dealing with the number 6 seeded Tar Heels. Patterson. Rebound Hodgson. Hodgson, nice look up to Paris. Excellent pass. And 1. Foul on Patterson.
Paulina Paris, the only freshman on the floor right now for either team. Coming up big. Getting out in transition. Eva Hodgson had just recently come back into the game. Perfectly placed pass for Paris to just scoop it up and lay it in. Big time N1 for the freshman from New York.
And that is the first point scored by a North Carolina bench player today. Paulina Paris from the state of New York. Grew up wearing number 23, but when you get to North Carolina, you can't wear that number, Kim. But not because of Michael, because of Charlotte Smith, who made clutch three-pointer to give the Heels the '94 national championship. And Paris has just completed the three-point play. We are tied at 54 with under 2 to play. Another down-to-the-wire finish in Columbus, involving St. John's, no less. Everett. Kelly scoops it up. Kelly into Key. Key posting up. And a foul on Archer.
Interesting sequence. I thought Key initiated the contact that forced Archer to go down, and then they called a foul on Archer when she was on the floor. Let's take another look at what happens here. Tiani Key with the ball. I thought maybe not enough there for an offensive, but then somehow maybe it was just a late whistle, but the whistle blew when Archer was on the floor.
North Carolina has only been to the free throw line 5 times. This will be free throws 6 and 7. Their season low for attempts prior to this game was 9. The Key gives North Carolina a 1-point lead. And Key pushes the lead up to 2 for North Carolina. Just over a minute to play. The Tar Heels on a 7-0 run. Bailey. Out to Reed.
1 minute to play.
Reed spins in the lane, throws it up and in.
Unlikely source of scoring there. You would think it's going to Everett or Bailey, but Reed coming up big.
Tie game with under a minute to play. the winner to meet Ohio State in the second round on Monday. Kelly looking for an opening, forces it up, rebounded by Kennedy Todd Williams, and the follow puts the heels up by 2.
And it was perfect defense on Deja Kelly, but you cannot forget to box out Kennedy Todd Williams. This was really well defended by Unique Drake, no foul. But Kennedy Todd Williams just skies in out of nowhere. Nobody on St. John's can find her, and she puts her team up 2.
St. John's took a timeout, 29.1 seconds remaining in the game. The possession arrow belongs to St. John's. North Carolina has 3 timeouts left. St. John's has 2. Tar Heels still have 2 fouls to give.
Yeah, so a couple of interesting things here. With those 2 fouls to give, you're going to think that UNC is going to look to play it out a little bit and then foul, continue to take some time off the clock. The question for Joe Tartamella is, do you go quick here or do you hold it for the last shot? The shot clock is off, so they have the ability to do that, to go for the tie, to go for the win, or do you try to get something quick? I would say go something quick here. You have playmakers in Jayla Everett and Kadeja Bailey. I'd put it in the hands of one of those 2 to get something right away and then trust your defense to get the final stop.
St. John's produced one of the most thrilling moments of March Madness so far on Thursday night. Can they give us another thrilling moment? There's the Tartamella family anxiously looking on. Talked to Shannon, Coach Tartamella's wife, today, and she said she had the losing discussion with her children, like, we may not win at some point, and she was hoping it wasn't going to be today. We're about to find out who can hang on in this fantastic opening round game. Tar Heels counter, calling another timeout with 29.5 seconds left.
Yeah, this is always the chess match here. St. John's still has 2 timeouts. North Carolina still has 2. This could be a long last 29 seconds as teams look to see how they're setting up.
This is such a veteran team St. John's has. They've shown so much composure this week, and they lock in on Joe Tartamella. It is so fun to be around this team, just to feel that family-like environment that he's created here.
They were in this situation just 2 nights ago where they gave the ball to Jayla Everett, who made the game-winning shots. Now she's coming to inbound it, which is interesting here.
Well, she's still limping, went down hard early and has refused to come out of this game. 29.5 seconds left. North Carolina up to St. John's with the ball. Bailey gets fouled on her way through the lane.
And I'm not sure that was intentional, but it's not the worst thing in the world for UNC.
Fallon Hodgson, remember, North Carolina had 2 fouls to give. Now they have 1 to give. So it'll be St. John's ball out of bounds. 19.4 seconds left in the game. Reed gets it into Everett. That's exactly who St. John's wants to have the ball.
I think they're holding for 1 here.
Reed through the lane, off the glass, in the net. Timeout, North Carolina. We are tied with 6.1 to play. Mimi Reed, who's getting her PhD, looks pretty good, tying the score here.
Unbelievable. All the attention goes to Jayla Everett. Little jab step through the defense, high off the glass. Mimi Reed, tough bucket, falling down. She's had 2 tough buckets. First year in a St. John's jersey, coming to Queens after 4 years at Ole Miss.
Well, remember on Thursday, St. John's gave us one of the more memorable moments of March Madness. Jayla Everett against Purdue.
Jayla Everett, similar play really as we just saw, just fighting her way, willing her way to the basket. That was with just a couple tenths on the timer. That is the reason why they're in this game today. And here we go. UNC had a timeout. They will advance it with 6 seconds. St. John's is in the bonus, so they cannot foul here. UNC obviously has a tremendous playmaker in leading scorer and assister, Deja Kelly. I would put the ball in her hands, give her space, let her go to work. Teammates must be ready to catch a kick out or a dump off.
In the game for Carolina, number 14, Kayla McPherson.
It'll be North Carolina's basketball, as both teams being encouraged to get back out on the floor by our officials. Kennedy Todd Williams for North Carolina was going to throw it in, and now St. John's has countered with another timeout.
Gotta love this chess match. And it's always interesting to see, does the offensive team go with the same drop? Do they now switch things up? Was it a decoy knowing that they were going to call a timeout?
Both teams have one timeout remaining. This is the third in a row. It was St. John's, North Carolina, then St. John's. Joe Tartamella, the Big East Coach of the Year, orchestrated a couple of wins this year over Creighton and UConn, and now trying to keep his team in the NCAA tournament. They had not won a tournament game since 2014 before Thursday night, and now trying to keep this momentum going against the Tar Heels of North Carolina, who were the 1994 national champions.
And a lot of the focus here is going to go to Deja Kelly, but you have to watch out for Eva Hodgson, the shooter. She's knocked down 3, and watch Kennedy Todd Williams here taking it in. She could get it back. You see this driving lane right now that is open for her if she were to get it back.
6.5 seconds left. Officials asking for the St. John's bench to take a seat. Here we go. Kelly takes the pass. Deja Kelly on the drive. She scores! Kelly is fouled as well and will go to the line.
Big time bucket for your point guard. Put it in her hands, gets the mismatch, has a big on her. Takes it to the bucket. It did look like Mimi Reed slid over. She was in the arc though. Feet were in the arc. It's definitely a blocking call. Deja Kelly with the N1, not sure what the St. John's players. I think they're calling for a review of the restricted arc, which you can do in the final 2 minutes.
Kelly will go to the free throw line with 2.2 seconds left. The lead is 2 at the moment. Big free throw coming here for Kelly. Kelly today 3 of 4 from the free throw line. And this season, a 71% free throw shooter. First team All-ACC performer.
And St. John's does still have a timeout here. So rebounds, they can call a timeout. Make, they can call a timeout in advance.
Box out, box out. I'm not shooting by yourself there.
North Carolina leads by 3. They do call that final timeout.
Take their last timeout.
So North Carolina up 3 with 2.3 to play, and St. John's has time to tie this score.
Plenty of time. 2.3 seconds. You have time for a dribble or two. And we'll see if Joe Tartamella subs in any additional three-point shooters. Jayla Everett is obviously their best. She's at 42% on the season. We've seen Danielle Patterson knock down 2 in this game.
Everett's made 3 today. Patterson has made 2. Reed has made 1.
But look at that foul to give for UNC. That's big in this moment because they could inbound it and foul right away to take a second or so off of this clock. But you have to be careful you don't foul somebody in the three-point shooting motion or the shooting motion and send them to the line for 3 shots. It's a little dicey.
Unique Drake will inbound it. They put Key on her. Key at 6'4", towering over Drake. Into Patterson.
Will they call it a shot?
Wait just a second. Let's see. Whistle blew.
Oh, my goodness.
It is a foul on the three-point shooter. St. John's is going to the line to shoot 3 free throws, and the Tar Heels trying to hold Deja Kelly back. She was not happy, to say the least.
Let's take a look at this. Danielle Patterson, does she go right into the shooting motion?
Let's see. Kelly is saying that she fouled her before she went into her shooting motion, but our officials not agreeing. So Patterson is going to get 3 free throws. Karen Priato making the call. Deja Kelly talking to Teresa Stuck, one of the other officials right now.
And they're looking at something, but you can't overturn a foul call here. So the only thing they could look at here would be the time. So it's still going to be 3 shots, but they could adjust the time here. But yeah, I mean, that's as close as it gets, as we saw it on that replay in terms of was she shooting, was she not?
Patterson is an 81% free throw shooter. She has not shot a free throw in this game tonight. She has been a massive presence offensively for the Red Storm here in the second half. Let's take a look at the foul and the clock. So Kelly's saying she fouled her before she went into the shooting motion. Officials, though, are going to give her 3 free throws. They did not agree with that.
Deja Kelly certainly has a case there. I think the hands were on before Patterson was turned. Officials have added 0.7 to the clock.
Well, welcome to the 3 biggest free throws of Patterson's career.
Nobody happier than Deja Kelly right now. Big smile on her face.
So still a 3-point lead for North Carolina. She'll have 2 free throws remaining. Last free throw coming for Patterson. She makes 1 of 3. North Carolina leads by 2, and the Tar Heels take their final timeout.
Whew. We got to take a deep breath here.
So if you're St. John's in this situation, what can you do?
Well, let's see. You are in the bonus. You're down 2. You got to obviously try to get a steal right away, because once they inbound the ball, there's really not much you can do there, not enough time. You're going to have to foul right away, and you don't have timeouts to advance it. So your only hope is really to try and get a steal and a heave here. So if you're UNC, I'm throwing the ball towards my basket. I'm not throwing it towards half court and letting something crazy happen where St. John's can get in the passing lane and shoot something around half court. I'm throwing it towards my own basket. If there's a deflection, you hope that time runs out. North Carolina 7 of 8 from the free throw line in this game. That would be a season low for attempts if that stays. Let's see what St. John's does. Hodgson ready to throw it in. 1.5 seconds left. North Carolina up 2, trying to advance. Hodgson gets it into Kelly, and that'll do it. The North Carolina Tar Heels survive and advance as the St. John's Red Storms comeback attempt just short. What an effort by St. John's, though. Almost produced another spectacular finish. Instead, it was North Carolina's turn to provide some magic here in March Madness. So the Tar Heels will meet Ohio State on Monday. For Kim Adams and our entire crew, I'm Sam Gore. Thanks for watching. So long from Columbus.